Hey everyone, how are you all doing? So I just came back after watching Creed 3. It's almost 3 a.m. here in India, yet I just had to talk about this movie right now. So first of all, I really love Creed 1. I think it's one of my top 50 movies of all time, and I watch that movie at least once every year. That movie just gives me so much motivation to do literally anything, whether it is to work, whether it is to work on YouTube, basically anything, even workout occasionally, of course. But yeah, Creed 2 was a bit of a step down, but I liked how they added the physical challenge that Adonis had to face. So I did like that challenge. It was a very different movie. It was not trying to replicate the first Creed movie, so I did like that about it. And coming to Creed 3, I was a bit skeptical going into it just because it was Michael B. Jordan's first directorial debut movie. But I am really pleased to say that I really like this movie to the point that I can almost say that I love this movie. So let's start with the story of the movie. So I'm not going to give you any spoilers, so don't worry about that. So the basic gist is that Adonis is now retired. He has achieved everything he wants to achieve in the boxing ring. So he has retired and has a family and he has a daughter as well. And basically he's living the family life. Does he miss boxing? Maybe, maybe not. The movie does address that. And then someone from the past emerges and basically fucks things up with Adonis, both mentally and physically. And yeah, that is the basic gist of the movie. I think we all have seen the trailers, and by the trailers, we do get a good idea of this movie. And like every Rocky or Creed movie, it does follow a pretty good template. But I liked how this story was more personal. It shows how the past can haunt us. So I did like that aspect of the movie, and the basic story just added a lot to the emotional stakes of the character of Adonis. And unlike Creed 1 or Creed 2, where Rocky was the main focus, not the main focus, but he was still in the background, and we were waiting. Okay, Sylvester Stallone will show up and he will motivate Adonis. He will keep him going. This movie is all about Adonis figuring things out for himself, and I found that very refreshing. Tessa Thompson is amazing in this movie as well. I loved how Michael B. Jordan let other characters in this movie shine apart from him. He picked a story that would work, that is still fresh even after so many movies in the Rocky franchise. I felt this movie was very personal. The emotional stakes were very high, and I did not feel the fatigue. I did not feel a fatigue like the superhero fatigue, like the Rocky franchise fatigue. It was not like that. So the story really was a big plus point for me in this movie. So when you have a good story, what is the most important thing that comes next? Those are the characters. And this movie has an incredible villain in Dame, played excellently by Jonathan Majors. Everyone is talking about Jonathan Majors as Kang. I would like to differ. I would love to talk about Jonathan Majors as Dame. This is the villain that we have been waiting for, not Kang. Kang was okay, he was alright, but Dame brought everything. Every time Jonathan Majors was on screen, I couldn't like shake my eyes off him. He stole scenes from an actor like Michael B. Jordan, which is not at all easy. And credit here also goes to Michael B. Jordan that he let Dame shine the way he did. He did not let the movie focus on himself. He put his ego out. He let characters in his movie shine, and the story shown as a result. If everything is focused on Adonis and this amazing person that he is, or how nice he is, then the movies will become stale and boring. But Michael B. Jordan has brought this freshness in this franchise by making Adonis very vulnerable, and he has flaws too. And Dame is there to basically take advantage of him. Now, Dame is not your conventional villain. He has motivations. He has a past. He has justified motivations, I would say. He does go over the line sometimes, but if you were in his position, would you do anything different? Uh, Maybe you would, and that's good on you. But I love when characters are relatable, when you are faced with a dilemma that if you were in their position, would you also basically turn bitter? And there are things that does happen to someone's life that makes them turn bitter. And this is one that instance. And I think Jonathan Majors is a revelation in this movie. The banter between Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan is insane. It is very quiet. There are scenes in this movie where there is no music playing in the background. It is just two people talking, and there are silences, long silences. Like I even counted like for 15 seconds. The characters are just either staring at each other, or they are looking at the camera, or they are basically acting with their eyes. Jonathan Majors is a force to reckon with in this movie. Not only does he challenge Creed in a physical way, he challenges him mentally. I just felt that if I talk to this guy for 5 minutes, he's going to fuck up my mind. And we are talking about a movie like Creed, not a very psychological type of movie. But Michael B. Jordan has brought this out of this character. His directing has brought out this character, in my opinion. And this character is very intimidating. And like I said, I'm just floored by this performance. This movie is not perfect, but Jonathan Majors as Dave is absolutely perfect. Now, I have raved about Jonathan Majors so much, you guys might be thinking that Michael B. Jordan as Adonis is a bit of a disappointment. Let me tell you, that is exactly not the case. Michael B. Jordan as Adonis is great, as I expected, as usual. He's very understated in this movie. I like the restraint that he showed in this movie. He's not trying to be the hero. He is vulnerable. He has weaknesses. He is very flawed. He needs other people, like every human being. And Michael B. Jordan's portrayal of Adonis is absolutely on point in this movie. He does not dominate every scene. He lets other people shine. So the job that Michael B. Jordan does in this movie, both as a director and an actor, cannot be understated. I do think that Hollywood can sometimes be a very egocentric industry. The reason Sylvester Stallone is not in this movie is also due to clash of some things. It is a bit complex. I don't want to judge either Sylvester Stallone or Michael B. Jordan or the Creed producers. Who were right, who were wrong, I don't know. But it is very refreshing to see a star like Michael B. Jordan, who is basically the star of this franchise. Like the franchise name is Creed. He could have hijacked this movie very easily. He could have made the villain less sympathetic. He could have made Jonathan Majors shine less. But I think that Michael B. Jordan plays Adonis in an excellent way. Like I said, he's very understated, and I do think that people might overlook his performance in this movie, but I certainly did not. I think that he added so much in this movie, and he was a part of this movie. He was not the complete movie, and that is what I appreciated about him the most. I've talked about the excellent direction that Michael B. Jordan has done on this movie, but I would also like to point out an interesting thing that I observed, that the movie is very anime-esque in the sense that there are many shots, ideas in this movie that are derived from anime, and I think that it pays homage to the anime world. And it is very refreshing to see a Hollywood actor directing in his first movie, letting his passions come out in a way that does not feel forced, that pays tribute in a very meaningful way, like just this shot. And there are many instances in this movie where the hero and the villain just remind me of the heroes and villains that we have in anime, where nothing is very clear and explicit, and we like the heroes, but we like the villains as much as the heroes. Like, not in the sense that we are rooting for them, but we totally understand them, and we think that whenever they come in the screen, they bring something new. And I think the direction, both artistically, whether it is directing the actors, whether it is the visuals, everything, Michael B. Jordan has done just a fantastic job, especially considering that it is his directorial debut. Not many directors who were actors before are able to produce this kind of stuff. I can't wait to see what he does next. No Rocky or Creed movie is complete without a training montage, and this movie has an incredible training montage sequence where we see both the characters basically getting ready to face each other, which is not a spoiler. We know that both of them are going to face each other. But the way he shot this, the music he chose, he did not just rehash the music from Creed 1 or Creed 2. The music here is very new, it's very refreshing, and the way it plays in the scenes, the ideas that he used, the shots that he used in this training montage, it's both inspired from previous Rocky movies, but there are certainly new elements here that excited me more. I just had goosebumps when this scene happened. And just this shot, if you see, both of them are looking at each other in the mirror, and this happens simultaneously in the movie. And when this was happening, I was like, okay, I'm ready for this fight. I'm geared up for this fight. I like the kind of build up that this fight had. I think it's the best among all the three movies. Like, I'm not saying that this is the best Creed movie. I still think the first one is better, but the build up to this fight, I think this movie executed it the best. This shot is one of my favorite shots that I can remember for the past few years actually. I mean, this is just a masterpiece. Like, this is poster worthy. Like, they should be framed. If this is available in the market, I'm going to frame it. Even if it is not, I'm just going to send a request and just make a frame out of it and just put it in my wall. Just look at the colors. This is just before the interval scene, you could say, and this is just a tease of what would happen later in the movie. And I just love this shot so much. I mean, I'm sure that you guys who have not even seen the movie, if you look at this shot, you will get what I'm trying to say, especially those who admire cinematography, who admire visual storytelling. And this shot, without any dialogue, without anything, both of the guys were just walking out of the room, and suddenly they were just like, they just paused right there and they just started looking through the wall, and like the colors that come through the doors of both of them, you can see the distinction between them. Like, this is what movie making is all about to me. This is what I look forward to in all the movies. I love visual storytelling. I like dialogues and scripts and all that, but when you are able to convey something through just visuals, it just hits me more. And this particular shot is just one of my favorites from the past few years. Now, this movie is not perfect. I had some issues with this movie. One of those issues were the relationship between Michael B. Jordan and his daughter. I liked it, but I felt that it could have been more emotional. It could have been more earned. I think Michael B. Jordan thought that he was doing something that would grab uh, the audience's emotions more than what actually did. But again, this did not bother me. I actually did like it. But the fact that I love this movie and the other aspects of this movie so much, I felt that it was a bit of a letdown. This is just one of those nitpicks that I usually have with most movies. And like, this is not a masterpiece or a perfect movie, but it is still a very, very good movie. And also, I didn't talk about it, but the finale absolutely rocks. I love the overall fight scene. Michael B. Jordan also implements a very unique idea. It has been implemented before, but not to this extent, I feel. When you see the final fight sequence, you will understand what I'm saying. And maybe you won't like it, but it was totally my jam. And even more impressive was the scene after the fight scene. That scene almost brought me to tears. And that scene basically just closes the movie out absolutely perfectly. And I really love this movie. Like, I did say that I have that one flaw with this movie, but overall, the expectations that I had, this movie blew those away and then some. Like, I can't recommend this movie enough. Just watch it in the biggest screen possible. This movie is very atmospheric. It deserves the I'm sure this movie is going to be a big hit. I'm going to watch this movie again in the theater, and I'm sure that many of the audience members would feel the same. The people that I was watching with, they were ecstatic, they were cheering, they were howling, they were devastated sometimes. And by the time the movie ended, I just felt that the whole cinema felt that there was something special. This is very exciting, especially considering it's just March, early March right now, and I think that this movie is absolutely fantastic. Now, do let me know what you all thought about this movie. I think many of you have not seen it yet, so do see it. It's a very big recommendation from me, and just tell me that, did you like it? Did you love it? How did it compare among the three Creed movies? Did you think it was even better than Creed 1? I personally think that Creed 1 was better. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts, and do subscribe and like and share your comments and give feedback as well. Constructive feedbacks are always welcome in this channel. Like I said, I'm very new to this channel. I'm very new to YouTube, but I was very encouraged with the recent video I did, and I hope to keep making videos for you guys. I will keep making 100 videos, 200 videos. I don't care if it gets 10 or 15 views. I'll still keep making them. and because movies do bring me joy, and if I'm able to share that passion even with 5 or 10 people, I think it is justified. So thanks a lot for watching, guys.